And so CoCrystal Pharmaceuticals is languishing at 99 cents. And the key stock price catalyst which will see the share price spike is around this treatment right here for Norovirus, the oral panviral protease inhibitor CDI988. When we look at the economic impact according to the CDC, every year Norovirus is estimated to cost $60 billion worldwide due to healthcare costs and loss of productivity. Currently, Norovirus has no approved treatments on the market, and so if CoCrystal Pharmaceuticals are actually able to get through all the phases in the pipeline and get this treatment approved by the FDA, they will effectively have no competition in the marketplace for this treatment. Globally, Norovirus was estimated to cause 699 million illnesses and 219,000 deaths across all ages per year, and currently preparations are underway for the challenge study, with subject enrollment expected to begin in the first quarter of 2026. And so in simple terms, phase 1, which you can see here, was about measuring the safety. It showed that the treatment could be taken at high doses without any serious side effects or dangerous reactions, and no red flags were reported. The other thing to note with CDI988 is it's not a wild experiment, in the sense that they're using a proven scientific method that's been tried and tested in the past to block viruses, and it's now being applied to this virus, which currently has no approved treatments on the market. And again, like I was saying before, if CoCrystal Pharmaceuticals are successful with this, they effectively open up a monopoly in the market for an illness that has no viable treatments at the moment. And so the global market size is estimated to be almost $1.4 billion in 2024. And this is projected to grow to almost $3.5 billion by 2035. And so this highlights the opportunity that CoCrystal Pharmaceuticals have if they are able to navigate through all of the phases that they need to and get approval for the treatment by the FDA. And so currently the next step for CDI 988 is that they are testing this new oral antiviral on humans, and this is because it's such a significant milestone where there's almost this demonstration of proof of concept that the treatment has been tested with humans, that it is safe, and it has become clinically validated. And this is a hugely significant milestone which will see the share price skyrocket. We have seen these price projections by a number of analysts, which I mentioned in the previous video, and you can see up on the screen now. And if we go back to the pipeline, the other major significance is that if they do go ahead with these human trials and they are successful, is that it would actually validate this whole platform. The company is actually creating a platform or a method that could work amongst a number of different viruses, not just Norovirus. And so with this proof of concept, with the human trials, it validates this, which again, in turn, because it validates this whole platform, should see this major spike in the share price that these analysts on Wall Street have projected. And this is why the phase 1B has the potential to be absolutely game-changing for the company, for the stock, as the market will actually price in a much bigger opportunity here, not just with a single antiviral, but this whole platform that I was talking about as well. Like I was saying, this is why when we look at CoCrystal Pharmaceuticals stock price forecast or price target, we can see this of $10 right now. I did mention in the last video that I did consider this $10 price projection to be quite optimistic. At the same time, we do see prices of around $6 to $7 as well by analysts of H.C. Wainwright too. And so all of this pretty much hinges on the phase 1B data for the trial. And I expect that the data should be announced by around 6 months, maybe even 8 months. It very much depends how quickly they can get through all of this trial as well. It does start in 2026 now, in theory, but it does come back to investing in the individuals. I did mention the majority shareholders, Phillip Frost and Fred Hassan, both have a huge amount of pedigree, like I mentioned this in the previous video. And this investment for me, the ethos that I'm using here is hedging my bets on people with world-class expertise, with a proven track record of success, and individuals that have done this before. Phillip Frost is renowned for starting out biotech companies from scratch, for pioneering and developing innovative new therapies and taking those to market and selling his companies on once he's built them up, which is how he's amassed his fortune. And so preparations for phase 1B are underway for the challenge study, with subject enrollment expected to begin in the first quarter of 2026. Data is expected to be analysed and released by mid-2026, but these price projections here, they do very much hinge on some positive news from this phase 1B study and the data that should be released mid-2026. The other treatment to pay attention to in their pipeline is the influenza A, the oral PB2 inhibitor 42344. When we look at the pipeline, it says phase 2A challenge study is complete. And so in relation to the oral PB2 inhibitor CC42344, you can see here it states that in December 2024, they announced a plan to extend the phase 2A human challenge study due to unexpected low influenza infection among study patients. And so effectively what happened here is they experienced a little bit of a problem, which is too few patients who were signed up for the clinical trial were actually infected with the influenza. So they couldn't generate the proof of concept, they couldn't generate the data that they needed in order to demonstrate the impact of the treatment. And so in this case, it's very much a question of watch this space. We haven't heard anything back from CoCrystal Pharmaceuticals with regards to when they may start this trial again. And so fundamentally, the major stock catalyst, which will see the stock go back to potentially the price projections made by these analysts, is all around the human trial data and actually confirming positive trial data for this treatment, which would be absolutely game-changing for the company and for the stock and for the pipeline as well. At the same time, it's very important to highlight that, this is a very critical catalyst. It is a very high-risk, high-reward opportunity. And the thesis behind investing in the stock comes back to the pedigree of the leadership, the major shareholders, Phillip Frost and Fred Hassan, that I discussed in a lot more detail in the last video. They're industry veterans and they have the capital to back it up. Philip Frost's proven track record and the billions that he has as well, which gives a level of insurance with this stock. He has been periodically adding to the stock over the last couple of months, which again shows his conviction and his belief in the ethos, the mission of the company, and the future success of the company as well. And so naturally, I'll keep you updated on this stock and all the other stocks that I track on this channel. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and Happy New Year.